Everyone tells you to follow your passion. That is a lie. They sell you this dream that if you just find the thing you love, you will never work a day in your life. Listen to me carefully. That is the exact mentality that keeps millions of men broke, frustrated, and stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. Passion is a feeling, and feelings fade. Feelings change with the weather. Feelings change when you wake up tired, when your bank account is low, when somebody rejects you. If you are waiting for passion to push you forward in 2026, you have already lost the game. What you need is not passion. What you need is obsession mixed with unbreakable discipline. You need the 1% daily shift. People look for the massive leap. They want the lottery ticket. They want to wake up tomorrow and suddenly be a different man. But let me tell you something. The universe does not reward the desperate leap. It rewards the consistent step. It rewards the man who is willing to do the boring, unsexy, repetitive work day after day after day. That is the truth they do not put on the billboards. This is what separates the 1% from the 99%. Look at the world right now. Look at the men around you. They are constantly distracted, constantly searching for the next dopamine hit, scrolling endlessly, living vicariously through the success of others on a screen. Ask yourself honestly, when was the last time you sat in silence and actually confronted your own potential? Most people are terrified of their own potential because realizing what you are truly capable of means accepting the responsibility to achieve it. It is easier to play small. It is easier to blame the economy, your boss, your childhood, or the algorithm. But nobody is coming to save you. Let that sink in. The cavalry is not coming. The rescue boat is not on the horizon. It is just you, the mirror, and the choices you make in the dark. Your future self is watching you right now, begging you to put down the phone, get out of bed, and start building. The clock is ticking on 2026. Every second you waste making excuses is a second stolen from the life you could be living. You are trading your legacy for temporary comfort. And comfort is the silent killer of all human potential. It will rock you to sleep while your dreams die of starvation. But there is something nobody tells you about stepping out of that comfort zone. When you make the decision to improve yourself by just 1% every single day, the world will not immediately applaud you. In fact, the world will resist you. The people who are used to the old version of you will try to pull you back. They will call you obsessed. They will say you have changed. They will ask why you are waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to read, to train, to build your mind while they are still asleep. Let me tell you a secret. Their criticism is not about you. It is a reflection of their own unrealized potential. Your discipline shines a blinding light on their laziness. And instead of stepping up to your level, they will try to drag you back down to theirs. You must protect your focus like gold. You must build a fortress around your mind. If you improve by just 1% today, you will not see a difference in the mirror tonight. If you do it again tomorrow, you still will not see it. But That compounding effect is the most powerful force in the universe. A 1% daily improvement changes the trajectory of your entire bloodline. Now pay attention to this. I want to talk about the iceberg principle. When you look at a massive iceberg in the ocean, you are only seeing about 10% of its true mass. The glory, the shine, the part that catches the sunlight, that is the tiny fraction sitting above the water. 90% of that mountain of ice is submerged in the freezing dark, completely invisible to the naked eye. That is exactly how success works. That is what the invisible work is all about. People see the championship ring, the promotion, the built physique, the financial freedom, and they think it happened by magic. They call it luck. They say you must have been at the right place at the right time. They do not see the early mornings. They do not see the late nights. They do not see the sacrifices, the missed parties, the failed attempts, the moments you wanted to quit but took one more step anyway. While they sleep, you grind. That is the submerged 90%. If you are not willing to build your foundation in the dark, when nobody can praise you, you will never have the strength to support the massive weight of success in the light. You have to fall in love with the darkroom. You have to fall in love with the unglamorous process of isolation. A seed does not grow in the sunlight first. It is buried in the dirt. It is crushed by the weight of the soil, surrounded by darkness, and it must fight its way up toward the surface. Most men want the harvest without planting the seed, without enduring the dirt. They want the applause without the rehearsal. But listen to me. The universe is entirely governed by cause and effect. You cannot cheat the law of the harvest. You cannot reap what you do not sow. The work you avoid is the exact same work that contains the keys to your freedom. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop trying to hack the system. The long way is the only way. The invisible hours you put in when you are exhausted, when nobody is watching, when nobody cares, those are the hours that forge your character. Character is not built in the spotlight. Character is built in the shadows. When you are alone in that room and you have every excuse in the world to stop, and you keep going anyway, you are not just building a skill. You are building an unbreakable spirit. Consider the Chinese bamboo tree. This is a story you need to understand if you are going to survive the journey of self-mastery. You take the seed, you plant it in the soil, you water it, and you wait. An entire year goes by. You water it every day. You fertilize it. You protect it from the elements. And after one full year, nothing happens. No visible growth. You keep watering it for a second year. Still nothing. A third year. A fourth year passes. 4 years of pouring your time, your energy, your faith into this patch of dirt, and there is absolutely nothing to show for it. Most people would quit right there. Most people would call it a failure and walk away. But the man who understands the invisible work keeps watering. Then, in the 5th year, something miraculous happens. Within a period of just 6 weeks, that bamboo tree shoots up 90 feet into the air. 90 feet in 6 weeks. But ask yourself this: did it grow 90 feet in 6 weeks, or did it grow 90 feet in 5 years? If the farmer had stopped watering it at any point during those first 4 years, the tree would have died in the ground. That bamboo tree was not doing nothing during those 4 years. It was busy building a massive, intricate root system deep underground. It was building a foundation strong enough to support a 90-foot vertical climb in a matter of weeks. Without that invisible root system, the sudden growth would have destroyed the tree. The wind would have blown it over instantly. This is what is happening to you right now. You are putting in the work. You are making the sacrifices. You are eating clean, training hard, reading the books, saving the money, and it feels like absolutely nothing is changing. It feels like you are watering bare dirt. I know you are tired of waiting. I know it feels like nothing is happening, but trust me on this. You are building your root system. You are constructing the psychological and emotional foundation required to sustain the success that is coming. Do not curse the waiting period. Embrace it. If you were handed massive success right now with the weak foundation you currently have, it would crush you. It would ruin you. The delay is not a denial. The delay is preparation. The delay is protection. This brings us to a fundamental truth about human nature: the danger of seeking applause too early. We live in a generation that wants a trophy for waking up. People post their goals on social media before they have even taken the first step, just to get the dopamine hit of people liking their ambition. They announce their plans to the world, absorb the fake praise, and then lose the motivation to actually do the work. Let me give you a piece of advice that will change your life in 2026. Keep your mouth shut. Move in silence. Let your results make the noise. Every time you talk about what you are going to do, your brain releases the same chemicals as if you had actually done it. You drain your own drive. The 1% man does not need a cheering section to go to war. He does not need validation from people who are not even in the arena. You must learn to become your own source of validation. When you accomplish something, look in the mirror, nod your head, and get back to work. Stop looking around to see who is watching. Stop performing for an audience of distractors. Be a ghost until it is time to be a king. Let us talk about opportunity. People sit around and pray for opportunities. They hope their big break is just around the corner. But here is the reality that separates the masters from the amateurs. Opportunity is always circling. It is constantly moving around us, passing right over our heads every single day. The problem is not a lack of opportunity. The problem is a severe lack of preparation. When opportunity finally knocks on your door, it does not wait for you to get dressed. It does not wait for you to tie your shoes or read the manual. If you are not ready to open that door the second it knocks, it moves on to the next house. The law of readiness dictates that you do not prepare for the opportunity when it arrives. You prepare for the opportunity before it even exists in your mind. You build the skill set, you build the discipline, you build the capital, you build the network, so that when the universe finally aligns and presents you with your moment, you can step into it seamlessly. You cannot cram for the test of life. You cannot suddenly become disciplined when the stakes are high. You are either ready or you become a spectator to someone else's victory.